Hey, it's me. So you're the one who sent the encrypted message. How did you even do that? I wasn't sure anyone on the surface would have a chance to crack Trinity. You know, the encryption algorithm.
Trinity? What's that?
Trinity is an encryption system with a cipher, or key cut up into many pieces. You need several pieces in the correct order to unlock it. I put a Trinity piece with every synth I helped escape. It was a long shot, but I was hoping some good Samaritan would connect it all together.
A friend named Tinker Tom cracked your encryption.
He must have had some serious hardware to pull that off. Wow, your message was only one word. Friend. What did you mean by that?
The Railroad sent me to look for someone they call Patriot. That's you.
What? The Railroad? As in the Railroad? And they gave me a code name too? I kept sending synths to the surface hoping someone would help them. I hoped the Railroad got to some of them, but I never knew for certain.
How did you help the synths escape?
Through hacking. The departments focus their best talents on hard science. Why waste time on terminal security, right? The SRB is the exception, and unfortunately, they control which synths go to the surface. But a forged work order from, let's say, bioscience can get a hand-picked synth on surface detail. And it turns out the Railroad was waiting for them. Wow.
You've saved a lot of synths.
So much to take in. But wait, with you in the picture, I have this idea. To rescue a lot of synths at once. But we'll need help. Where's he working now? Right. Let's go to the West Atrium. Probably best to talk about something else right now. You know my father thinks it's a living hell on the surface. But that can't be right. Heck, you look positively normal to me. No offense. I'm not sure if we could ever make the surface actually a decent place to live. But that doesn't mean we shouldn't at least try to help, you know?
Liam.
Good. He's here. C-114. It's me.
Sir, do you require something?
It's okay, Z-1. She's a friend. She's with the Railroad.
Meeting here is dangerous. And you bring a stranger. You. How do I know we can trust you?
Liam.
Good. He's here. C-114. It's me.
Sir, do you require something?
It's okay, Z-1. She's a friend. She's with the Railroad.
Meeting here is dangerous. And you bring a stranger. You. How do I know we can trust you?
Who are you?
My designation is Z-114, a simple maintenance synth.
She's not from here. She's been helping our synths escape on the surface. It's safe.
If you insist we speak in front of her, do so quickly.
Right now, how many synths want to escape, Z-1?
The ones I know for certain? 13.
That'll take forever. Let's free those 13 all in one go.
I would do anything for my people. But how do we get them to the teleporter? It's no good. The old maintenance tunnels that lead there are always sealed. By the SRB.
If I can find a way to open those doors, could you get your synths to the teleporter room?
Yes. We'll talk later. Someplace more secure.
Liam.
Just a few high-security doors, right? Controlled by cutting-edge SRB security tech. Yeah. A head-on hack is the sucker play. So we go at them sideways. You're willing to help, right? I can't do this alone.
What do you need help with?
Our core security architecture hasn't fundamentally changed from the old CIT days. The original security program was called Code Defender. Revolutionary stuff. We still have terminals running version 1, mothballed in storage. With some persuasion, I can get an old terminal to interface with the new security terminals. Enough to open doors, at least. Problem is, I can't even crack version 1. So I need a good old-fashioned username and a password. And that's nowhere to be found in the Institute. But if you could get me a pre-war admin password from the surface, I could log right in.
Where would I find that?
Unfortunately, I don't know. The obvious place won't work. The CIT Ruins were picked clean years ago, but some of the admins had to live off-campus. Ask your friends in the Railroad. I need those login credentials.
One more hour until my shift ends. Up there, assume you're being watched. Always.
Security mode enabled. Voice interface. Is unavailable at this time.
Desdemona.
Rebuilding takes time, but we have the men and women to do it.
Pam.
Preliminary analysis complete.
Anything we need to move on?
Affirmative. Codename Patriot requires admin credentials for Code Defender security software. Cross-indexing CIT security administrators with 2077 Commonwealth Census records. Filtering by surviving structures. One match found. Bergman, Wilfred. Bergman, Wilfred. Registered as co-owner of Cambridge Polymer Labs. Estimated 81% chance of login credentials being located at this facility.
What can you tell me about Cambridge Polymer?
Cambridge Polymer Labs, LLC, had several active military contracts, specializing in robotics. The region is currently classified as extremely dangerous.
After you get the password report back here. With any luck, we'll have a game plan by then.
Pam wants you. She explained why, but I couldn't figure it out.
Excuse me.
I hope to God the Institute doesn't find us here. At least not soon.
Excellent work. On our side, we've gone through your report. It was extraordinary. So many pieces of the puzzle clicked into place. Our final analysis indicates the Institute is far more formidable than we've ever feared or imagined. If we stage a mass breakout, Patriot's 13 synths will undoubtedly be the last we ever save. Instead, we use this one chance to rescue all the synths. Every last one of them.
Is that even possible?
Hopefully, Patriot's core escape plan will scale up. If it can't, well, we'll deal with it as it comes. The Institute will never let their slaves go without a fight. So the heart of our problem is manpower. Even if we call in all our agents, and we will, we won't be able to hold our own against the Institute for long. Talk with C-114. If the synths down there want freedom, they must fight and risk their lives to earn it.
Even with synth allies, is that enough to fight the Institute?
The synths greatly outnumber the scientists. If enough of them rebel, the chaos would be unprecedented. Then we use that turmoil to evacuate everyone we can. It will work, because it must. As much as we owe Patriot, we can't be certain how committed he is. If he learns we're willing to kill to free synths, he may not have the stomach for it. So get what you need from him and then cut him loose. Good luck. We're all with you.
Got a lot of synths in play right now. Makes things real dangerous.
Deacon's record is the best. You could learn a lot from him.
Intruder countermeasures active. This unit is incapable of voice communication.
Are you in? Judd?
Pardon me. I wouldn't be here if not for your son.
I fix one relay and 2 more start to fail. At least I'm not bored.
You get me what we talked about, and I'm in business.
Liam, I got you your username and password.
You railroad guys really deliver, you know? Hooking that ancient tech up to the modern terminals is going to be seriously time-consuming, even with that password. So hand it over and I'll get started.
This is a delicate operation. Are you okay if we have to use violence?
Good question. If we find ourselves in that position, we pull the plug and wait for another opportunity. We can't risk anyone's life over this.
Would it be possible to rescue more synths?
Those 13 synths are the only ones we're sure we can trust. If we push our luck and get the wrong synth involved, the whole thing could unravel.
Here you go.
Great. Listen, I need a favor. Z-114 is working the atrium again. Can you give him an update? It's safer if you do it.
We must speak quickly. We cannot risk being discovered. I have made arrangements. I can get the 13 we discussed into position. But, tell me, do you think Mr. Benet's plan will work?
You having second thoughts?
I'd risk anything for my people. It's just that Mr. Benet is many things, but he isn't always the most practical. And this plan is very risky.
A better plan is to use this opportunity to rescue everyone. But synths will have to fight for it.
And I thought Mr. Benet's plan was too ambitious. Of course, I'd fight for my freedom. And I know of a few others that might as well. But enough to face all the guards? Perhaps if we stand up openly to the scientists, more of my people would join us. Yes. Even if most don't join the fight, certainly there are many others who have been waiting their whole lives for this. But we should be prepared for some of the synths to fight against us.
Synths would fight against us?
Synths always wear a mask of the docile machine. Otherwise, your mind is erased by the SRB. Some have worn that mask for so long that there's nothing underneath. Even if the path was clear, those broken people would stay and serve the scientists, and even try to stop us.
All people want to be free. They just need the opportunity to take it.
If the Railroad inspires everyone like you do, the SRB is wise to fear you. We will give my people an opportunity, and they will flock to us. I admire Mr. Benet a great deal. We can't tell him about this plan. It's his people we'll be fighting. I will talk to my friends. Meet me here tomorrow. If I don't make our appointment, assume the worst.
Good evening.
I asked my friends if they'd take up arms for their freedom. I was surprised at the number of volunteers. Perhaps once the fighting begins, many others will join us. But we will fight and die very quickly unless we have weapons. A lot of them. Given the right materials, we can make our own crude but serviceable weapons. Unfortunately, we're missing a few critical ingredients.
What ingredients?
Gunpowder, laser focusing crystals, and a couple other things.
Couldn't we just steal some weapons?
All munitions are tightly guarded by the SRB. Even if we managed to take some, it would certainly be noticed. And surprise is essential to everything.
I have weapons I could give you.
Excellent. Deposit anything you can spare in Maintenance Closet 3B. But we need enough weapons to arm an entire rebellion. So the ingredients are still necessary.
Tell me how I can help.
We've come up with a plan to get what we need. The Institute's always expanding. Excavation just completed on one of the sublevels. The mining equipment has been packed into crates and they haven't been moved yet. That equipment has everything we need. Thanks to Mr. Binet, the construction crew is populated solely by my friends. But they're under constant supervision. How do you feel about killing some guards?
Who's guarding them?
A good number of early model synths. Will that be a problem?
I'll do it. If it's necessary.
We could come up with no other way. After you eliminate the guards, we'll move the supplies and blow up the tunnels behind us. To the SRB, it will be a tragic construction accident that killed many synths. Rare, but not unheard of. And then, our dead friends can assemble the weapons we need. Good luck.
Thank you, stranger. Leave now. Soon, this will all be under rubble. Remember Z1's plan, everyone. Grab everything we can use. The crates, especially.
You have done your part, and we'll do ours. Weapon construction will begin immediately.
Have any problems?
There's been no alarm. My friends have all the time they need to get what they want, and cover their tracks.
Any news about Liam?
Liam's got his terminal working. When the time is right, we have someone who can operate it. I'll stall Liam as long as I can, but he's anxious to proceed with the old plan. You should avoid him if you can. If he had any idea what we're up to, I fear he'd report us.
This is a good start.
The greatest challenge remaining is keeping all of this secret from the SRB. So we're being very careful, which, unfortunately, takes time. For now, please continue working with Father. We can't afford for him to grow suspicious. When my people are ready, I will contact you.
From what I hear, that rogue synth at Libertalia was a real menace. Glad it's back where it belongs.
Just as you gave life to Father, he gave life to many of us.
What was that? Target reacquired.
Hey, X4.
I've been waiting for you.
Yeah. The line at the car wash? Super long. Took me forever.
Your attempt at humor is wasted. Our targets are inside. 4 synths under railroad protection. Majority of the settlement is uninvolved and are expected to run for cover. The situation appears to have escalated. A covert approach is likely impossible. We move in, secure the synths, and I relay out with them back to the Institute. Clear? The mission's parameters just changed. We go in shooting.
Who's there?
Your destruction property. I'm ready for resistance.
I've been looking for you.
No, I've got money. It's yours if you let me go.
What's this about money?
Yes, money. Here. 60 caps. That's all I've got. We're good, right?
Got any more on you?
What? No. I told you. That was all I had.
You're safe, okay? I'm gonna let you go.
Oh God, thank you. I cannot allow you to set these synths free. You will be terminated and your actions will be reported.
Hey.
Thank you for sparing us.
We'll get somewhere safe as soon as you're gone.
Excuse me.
You've given us another chance at life. We won't forget it.
Hi.
I can't believe you'd do that for us.
You know, in all my years, I've never set foot outside the Institute. Not once. Since the day they brought me here. I've never had a reason. But now, this just confirms the truth I've always known. The Commonwealth is dead. There's no future here. The only hope for humanity lies below.
Some air fresheners, a new coat of paint, and it'll all be good as new.
If only it were that simple. Standing here, I'm reminded of how fortunate I am that I was spared a life in this wasteland. I know that to you, I was kidnapped from that vault. In truth, the Institute rescued me. Both of us, really.
Kellogg called me the backup.
Did he? Well, he was correct. I was the perfect candidate. An infant with uncorrupted DNA. But if something were to go wrong, if I died, well, the Institute realized a contingency plan was prudent. Another source of pre-war DNA, preferably related to their primary subject. It only made sense that my parents should fill that role. So you were kept alive and safe within the vault. I'll admit, when I had you released from Vault 111, I had no expectations that you'd survive out here in all this. To not only do so, but manage to find me. To infiltrate the Institute itself. Extraordinary.
Why let me out now? After all this time.
Well, that's hard to explain. Certainly it was no longer necessary to keep you suspended. Well, I suppose I wanted to see what would happen. An experiment of sorts. Would the Commonwealth corrupt you? As it has everything else? Would you even survive? Perhaps most curious to me, would you, after all this time, attempt to find me? And now I know the answer.
Sean, you need to know. I still love you.
I can see that you do. It's remarkable. Soon, I hope you'll understand. Everything I've done has been for the future. A future which I hope is not in jeopardy after recent events. Bunker Hill did not go well for us. Would you care to explain what happened?
It's my fault. I wasn't able to complete the mission.
I gave you this opportunity to prove yourself. Particularly to prove to the Directorate that you deserve a place here. That will now be significantly harder. There will be accusations that you deliberately sabotaged the mission. Bunker Hill was to cement your place as a valuable asset to the Institute. It will now only raise suspicions. And to see the Brotherhood of Steel involved in this, they had no way of knowing what was going on. I will refrain from sharing the outcome with the Directorate for the moment. Things are already in motion that this would only derail. Speaking of which, it's time for you to become more involved in the future of the Institute. I'd like you to join me inside. The Directorate is meeting, and you should be there. I'll be waiting. I've seen enough. It's time to go back in. Good, we're all here. I think it's time we begin.
Sir, excuse me, but what exactly is she doing here?
I will address that issue. But there are other subjects that require our attention first. The level of unrest in the Commonwealth continues to rise, as we're all aware. Your report.
All Institute facilities remain completely secure with the exception of one notable breach. Otherwise, internally things are as tight as they've ever been. Dr. Ao has been keeping an eye on things topside.
Yes, Watchers show no additional threats beyond those previously identified. We're still monitoring the increased activity around Fort Independence, but there are no immediate signs we should be concerned. Boston International Airport remains occupied, with Brotherhood presence noted at several other points throughout the Commonwealth. Intelligence suggests that this railroad continues to operate and is becoming more ambitious. SRB agents are monitoring all known situations, sir.
Very good, thank you. It's clear that our safety needs to be the primary concern going forward. To that end, where are we on Phase 3?
Excuse me, but, sir, are you sure this is, well, the proper time to be discussing that? Considering, I mean, given all parties present?
Ah, yes, that's true. Have you heard anything about Phase 3?
What's Phase 3?
It's very important to us. Power is, as I'm sure you've seen above ground, a very valuable commodity. I'm not talking about some abstract concept of control. I mean real, tangible power. The kind that keeps the lights on. With every advance the Institute makes, our need for raw power increases. Many compromises and sacrifices have been made over the years to allow progress to continue.
What kind of compromises?
We have at times had to rely on drawing power from above-ground installations. It risks personnel and equipment, but no longer. Phase 3 is simply the activation of a nuclear reactor that can provide enough power to the Institute now and forever. It will ensure not just our survival, but our prosperity.
Can you tell me more about this reactor?
Certainly. It was originally built for the Commonwealth Institute of Technology before the war, but was only for testing. Over the years, we've advanced the technology, made a great many improvements, and are finally nearly ready to activate it. The reactor is close to ready, but recent tests have determined we have a few tasks ahead of us. Thus, we come to Phase 3, and to how you will help.
Sir.
Yes, Dr. Ao. Previously, we would rely on Kellogg for above-ground operations, yes? Well, he is gone. While I am not overly fond of putting my own mother in harm's way, she has proven more than capable of handling herself.
Yes, but...
This is not a matter for debate. Now, there is one more subject that requires discussion.
I don't know that this is the time.
Dr. Holdren, it is time. Please. As I'm sure several of you are already aware, I have been under Dr. Volkert's care for some time. I'm sorry this is difficult for me. Our best efforts have failed. Every experimental treatment we could devise has been unsuccessful. I'm sorry to say I am dying.
No! You can't be
Please,
serious!
Everyone, please. I am sorry. This is not how I wanted to tell you, but we're running out of time.
You're dying?
I'm afraid so. A very aggressive form of cancer. Believe me when I say we've done everything we can. We can talk more later. Right now, the future of the Institute is at stake. The Institute cannot survive without leadership. The Directorate must continue to govern with the best interest of all in mind. To that end, I am naming my mother as my successor.
Oh, boy.
You can't be serious!
Really?
How can you possibly justify this? She isn't one of us. She isn't even a scientist.
Ignoring your borderline, insubordinate tone, I will simply say this. The Institute has enough scientists. What it needs is a leader. I believe my mother has already proven herself more than capable in that regard. This will conclude this meeting. Thank you.
Dr. Carlin's doing some amazing things with our genetically engineered crops.
It's my responsibility to make sure this place runs smoothly.
Hello, Mother. Enjoying your time
I had no idea.
here. I know this is... well, it's a lot to take in at once.
I'm sorry, Mother. I hope it wasn't too presumptuous of me to put you in charge without even asking first.
What would it mean to be in charge?
Most divisions of the Institute are fairly autonomous, perfectly capable of functioning without intervention. Where those divisions interact, however, problems can arise. You'd lead the Directorate in setting policy, resolving disputes, and the like. There's no question that some of the Directorate, and the Institute at large, will need reassurances about your appointment. That's why I'd like you to take charge of this latest operation. Dr. Filmore can fill you in on the details. There are hard decisions ahead, for all of us. But for you especially. I know that you'll do the right thing.
Allie.
Busy day for you, isn't it? Well, it's about to get busier. You're going to lead this operation, I'm told.
What the hell is this operation about?
Hey, relax. We wouldn't send you off without the proper information. Recent events have upset our timetable. Getting the reactor online has become our #1 priority. It needs to be running, well, yesterday. We're going to have to cut some corners. I'm not thrilled, but it means we'll need to rely on some pre-war tech. You're going to the mass fusion building to acquire a Beryllium Agitator for us.
What's a Beryllium Agitator?
The details would be lost on you. No offense. The point is, it'll allow us to boost the reactor's power and get it running sooner than planned. You just keep me safe. I'll worry about the agitator.
Is that really necessary? I'm sure I could handle this by myself.
Yes, it really is. Not only is this tech sensitive, it's old. Look, I'll take care of it. You just make sure I come back in one piece.
Sounds good. I'd appreciate the company.
Not as much as I'd appreciate coming back in one piece. I don't like going above ground unless there's no other option. But here we are, with our options dwindling quickly. Not to put more pressure on you, but we have to move quickly on this. Word is that the Brotherhood is nosing around the area. We don't want them getting the agitator before we do. Head on up to the relay, and I'll meet you there.
Peter? I seem to remember reading an old technical document on those once, but I only thought they were theoretical. It must be pretty darn important if they're sending you to find one. You know, if we head over to mass fusion right now, we may be able to get the device before the Institute does. That's if you don't mind a little company, of course.
Why would you want to go?
Are you kidding me? Mass fusion was on the cutting edge of atomic technology. And considering there hasn't been much in the way of engineering advancements lately, that makes it a goddamn gold mine. I'm not gonna miss an opportunity like that.
It's your funeral.
Well, with a big bad soldier like you watching my back, that's not gonna happen now, is it? Grab whatever gear you need and meet me on the flight deck. But don't take too long. This could be our best chance at beating the Institute to the punch.
Ah, Paladin. Good.
to it?
That should do it. Elevator ought to have power again. Guess they weren't so good at mitigating radiation back in those days. Levels are almost off the charts. I'll monitor things from here.
Allie.
Looks pretty dangerous in there. You have any sort of radiation protection on you?
Can't I just close my eyes and run fast?
Joking in the face of mortal danger, always a good sign. Here, I got a couple of doses of Rad-X, but I seriously doubt it'll do the job. See? This is why I wore the suit. Look, they worked on the reactor here. They must have had some kind of protection. Poke around and I'm sure you'll find something.
Now cycling airlock. Please wait. Initiating decontamination sequence. Decontamination complete. You may proceed.
The thing we're looking for, the agitator. It should be in a port at the top of the reactor. Just don't know when they're beaten, do they? I'll help the synths buy some time. Make sure you get back to the Institute with the agitator.
Life signs detected.
Dr. Thompson, I know we're not that close, but may I ask a favor of you?
Sure, of course.
Both Allie and myself are working late tonight. Normally it's not a big deal. Quentin is mostly self-sufficient, but it's the third night in a row.
Say no more. He can come over and have dinner with us. I'm sure the girls will be thrilled.
It's not too much trouble?
No trouble at all.
Father always did like to challenge our assumptions.
Dr. Filmore?
I think that was enough excitement for, well, ever. Thank you, really. Couldn't have managed it without you. I'll make sure the agitator gets where it needs to go. I understand Father is anxious to get you involved in something else. You'd better not keep him waiting.
For goodness sake, be reasonable. I know you can hear me, now open this door.
What's the use? For what it's worth, I think you're a fine choice to take Father's place.
What's going on?
Dr. Higgs and Dr. Loken have decided to protest your appointment as Father's successor. They've taken control of the bioscience security systems and cut off our food supply.
Oh, great. Like I don't have enough problems.
Well, I'm sorry you've been inconvenienced, but solving personnel issues is part of an administrator's job.
Is there a way I can communicate with them?
As a matter of fact, there is. I can unlock the maintenance tunnel that leads to the bioscience observation room. From there, you should be able to communicate with Higgs and Logan. If you can't reason with them, you can use this holotape to access the command functions on the observation room terminal. That should give you some options. Just please, try to talk to them first. Use violence only as a last resort.
No way to pick this.
Here we are. Just give me a moment. There, it's unlocked.
Aha! I thought I heard something. Made it past the guards, hmm? Impressive. If you've come to change our minds, then you're wasting your time.
Can we talk about this?
Father chose not to talk to the Directorate before anointing you his successor. So how about I follow his fine example?
Father believes in me. The least you can do is give me a chance.
How could you hope to lead us when you hardly know anything about what we do? I'm sure you mean well, but you must see that it's an impossible task.
You'd rather everyone fight over the job? Is that what's best for the Institute?
I agree that the transition will be chaotic, but eventually, a leader will emerge from that chaos. Then, things will return to normal, and the work will resume.
Can't you at least give me a chance?
A chance? What do you think, Max?
The most fastidious researcher must sometimes take a leap of faith. I say let's give it a try.
Very well, then. Open the door, and let's return to the fold.
Synth, abort command override and resume normal function.
Are there many more of these questions?
I see. Any additional pain or tenderness?
Not that I've noticed. I feel quite well.
Okay. How's your energy level? Feeling any fatigue?
No more than I'd expect from a man.
Okay. You're sticking to the regimen we agreed upon?
Yes, Doctor. I'm taking all my little pills.
Interesting.
Yes, that...
All this advanced technology, and we still can't cure the common cold.
Hey.
Once you've settled in, I'll want to do a physical and get a file going on you. No hurry, though.
Hello, Mother. Enjoying your time here.
You wanted to see me?
I understand mass fusion was a success, despite interference from the Brotherhood of Steel.
What did you hear?
Dr. Filmore's report was quite thorough. The Brotherhood's intervention must be placed in a larger context, however, given their penchant for hoarding technology. Future conflict with them is guaranteed. We are, after all, keepers of the most advanced technology in the Commonwealth, if not beyond. It also cannot go unnoticed that there were concerns within the Institute about your allegiances. I, of course, never doubted your commitment to our cause. But by directly confronting the Brotherhood, I think you've put some others at ease. I'm proud of you, regardless. The Brotherhood is an issue for the future, and we must focus on the present. And look at me, rambling on like the old man I am. I'm wasting time. You're needed elsewhere at once.
Do you need more parts for the reactor? I could have gotten them while I was out.
No, this is a different matter. Hopefully one that does not put anyone at risk. This situation, I'm afraid, is something of your creation, however unintentional.
What do you mean by that? What's happened?
Well, while you were assisting Dr. Filmore, a second team was sent out to invite someone from the Commonwealth to join the Institute. Apparently, there was some miscommunication, and this individual called for help, which arrived in the form of your Minutemen. My understanding is that no shots have been fired. I would like it to stay that way. I need you to go there and speak to your Minutemen gathered outside. Insist that they stand down at once. Dr. Thompson is on site, and he will be your primary contact. I know you can resolve this situation, but it is of paramount importance that this special individual be brought to the Institute immediately.
Why all this effort? What's so special about this person?
Mr. Wallace? Despite a lack of formal training, our surveillance has shown he has incredible intellect. With his help, we may be able to drastically speed up work on the reactor.